another person doing his level 2, project 1, is our next speaker, Shaun Wilkinson. And he will be evaluated by Baptist. Baptist, would you please explain to us what Shaun's speech purpose is, as well as his time?
So, Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, can I do it from here? So, Shaun is speaking from the path engaging humour. That's what he's working on. And today's speech is about knowing his sense of humour, telling us something about that. However, the purpose statement says his purpose is to begin developing a collection of humorous stories and to present a speech that includes humour. His time is 5 to 7 minutes. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Collection of stories. I have one about 2 blondes. They walked into a building. They didn't see it. Ladies and gentlemen, Shaun Wilkinson and his life lesson. Life lessons, Shaun Wilkinson.
Fellow Toastmasters, life lessons. Life is a journey filled with challenges, opportunities like Jeanette was telling us to travel, and countless lessons that shape who we are. Tonight I want to explore just a few of these, or several, valuable lessons, skills and experiences that have helped me to navigate the ups and downs of life. Let's dive in and discover how these life lessons have helped me. I've listed several. First lesson: if you're being chased by a police dog, do not zigzag, climb through a small tunnel, go up a seesaw, and jump through a hoop of fire, because they've been trained to do that. My advice: don't ever sit in the traffic. You'll probably get run over. One of my earliest memories, when we were playing games with my family, with my mom, she loved to play games with the kids, is peeping out through the window as we played hide and seek. And I remember my mom saying, "You're getting warmer."
Yeah.
I used to think sticks and stones could break my bones, but words could never hurt me, until I fell into a printing press. My wife, it's very difficult to say what she does. She sells seashells on the seashore. So last month, being so silly, I decided to get some spiritual guidance and advice from a leader of Tibet. I gave him a call. He sent me a large goat with a long neck. I think I mistakenly called Dalai Lama. I don't trust journalists. I don't trust people in the media. You know that they wear badges that say press, but have you ever tried to push them when they feel like they're very unhappy and very angry? If you're depressed, you're struggling with depression, your name is Morgan, I suggest you visit Germany. Guten Morgen. Work with me, folks. Work with me. Not Steph jokes and my jokes over your head. Stefan will get a new middle path tonight. Years ago, when I started out in business, I used to supply faxes, remember those? Calendars and diaries to the Greek mafia. I was involved in very organized crime. I visited America recently, and I really got into the culture. One guy in the shop said to me, "Have a nice day." I didn't have a nice day, so I sued him. I'm actually quite tech savvy, and I do a lot of shopping online. I bought a book. Let me check the title. How to have absolutely nothing to do with your neighbors. got it. When I was younger, I lived in a flat with 3 girls. 3 girls, Mr. Wenger. 3 girls, until they found out. I was once robbed by a man on crutches wearing a camouflage outfit. He stole my wallet. My message to him, you can hide but you can't run. We live in a very uncaring society. I was sitting at Church Square watching these pigeons bother this old man. After a few minutes I realized he was dead. I wondered how long had he been dead. Overall, I'd say my hobby as a photographer has passed me in a blur. I've just finished my first book. I wrote it on penguins. It would have been much easier to capture it on paper. I love face painting. But advice, if you want to get into that hobby, make sure you get permission first. My mother made us eat all sorts of supplements until my brother choked on the business section of the Sunday Times. I was walking along the other day, and on the pavement, I saw a tiny white baby spook ghost hospital. Then I realized it was a tissue blowing in the wind, just like the answers. My friend. I went out with a girl the other night. Don't tell my wife. She was wearing this really stinky number. She looked so great going down the stairs. Most of my relatives are policemen, except my cousin. He was a bank robber. He died recently, surrounded by his family. My grandfather was a great inspiration to me. He's the guy who invented the cold air balloon. It never took off, John. My grandfather told me in the old days it was so safe you could leave your back doors open. That's why they kicked him out the Navy. He had several jobs in his lifetime. He once worked in a pathology lab until he was asked to leave because the report said cause of death, autopsy. The worst job my grandfather ever had was a forensicologist in Canada. He thought he had discovered a mass grave of 1,000 snowmen. We come across the mass grave of 1,000 in Canada. Turns out it was just a field of carrots. Moving along. After about a month before my grandfather died, we covered his back with butter. It was all downhill from there. Sometimes I wonder what my grandfather would think of my job. He spent the better part of the last bit of his life in the kebab business, those Greeks. And they buried him with his equipment. He's probably turning in his grave. Folks, as I wrap up, remember that life is like a Garmin, a GPS. It reroutes us when we make a wrong turn, but it never yells, I told you so. Fellow Toastmasters, embrace the turns and twists, and when life gives you lemons, squeeze them, make juice, sell it, and buy chocolate. Mr. Toastmaster.